You've got the Republican state treasurers and a group called the State Financial Officers Foundation.
It's an intrusive invasion of privacy. It's unprecedented in American
history. Whether there'll be a higher threshold or not. But you're making a preemptive strike.
About fair share and equity and the 1%, but the top 10%.
This massive expansion of IRS full-time
So the Biden
auditing.
administration will now be snooping on all bank accounts that have more than $600. The treasurer in the state of Missouri has figured this out. His name is Scott Fitzpatrick. He's just announced he will refuse to comply with this plan, and we're happy to have him join us now.
And Missouri law protects that information. It says essentially that we're supposed to keep that information private and not turn it over to anybody, much less the federal government. And we're going to continue to fight this. If it goes to court, we'll fight it in court. If we have to take it to Supreme Court, then that's what we'll do.
This creates an audit of people that haven't even shown that they've done wrong.
It gives me a great pleasure now to introduce a fighter on the front lines from the state level. My good friend Allison Ball, who is the state treasurer of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and she, along with other state officials around the country, have been leading the fight against ESG investing.
So I have been fighting to make sure our pension systems are strong and people can retire. So I've been pushing back against the ESG movement. There are many other treasurers who have been pushing back. So I am proud to be here. I am proud to support this. I think this is important for the whole country and it's important for Kentucky.
This is like pushing politics through the capital markets. So the Green New Deal couldn't make it through Congress. And so what has happened? The Green New Deal is now being pushed through corporate America. We are politicizing everything in this country. And that is a very bad thing to have happen. This is something that Mao did in China with the Cultural Revolution. You politicize everything. And it causes people to turn against each other. It's very dangerous and it's very un-American.
What we have right now are large investment management firms like BlackRock that are putting their thumbs on the scale. So we talked about the numbers, the 6.25 and the $6.7 billion.
Schroeder and his team made a big decision. They flipped the ESG script.
I moved $800 million in the last year.
If money talks, then the chatter is growing louder. The idea has caught on in Arkansas, Florida, Kentucky, North Carolina, Oklahoma, South Carolina, Texas, and West Virginia, all states looking to fight what they call woke investing.
Combined, I think there's like 7 states that have moved about $5 billion just out of BlackRock. And you'll see more and more. When we started moving money, that moved the conversation. And now people pay more attention to it.
That's kind of what's got a lot of the states, the energy states, fired up. And I'm glad to join that conversation about how dare you do that to the great people of America.
I'm very interested in what the state financial officers are actually doing about this because I think they might make a difference. Let's explain what some of these things are. ESG, we've discussed it in the past on this show. That's environmental, social governance. This sounds like it's coming out of communist China. This is one of these social credits that a company can earn by jumping through left-wing hoops.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and let's be really frank and direct. It is coming from communist China. Its origins are at the United Nations and in Europe, and we know that a lot of the ESG initiatives that are in place today that are being pushed by companies like BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard, they are. These companies are desiring to do more retail business in China.
Tell me a little bit about what state financial officers have done during these challenging times.
Those of us that are right of center, that are free market, we've not been doing a very good job of helping define what ESG really is. And so what we're trying to do is really educate the public about what it is and what they can do about it.
ESG investing, environmental social governance investing, to put it bluntly, this is the way for large banks and fund managers to drive a social agenda into our society without going through Congress or the courts. What we're saying as market participants, if you're going to drive that agenda and go against some of the signature industries of our state, we don't have to do business with you. So together we've had 8 states divest over $5 billion from BlackRock, for example.
Fantastic. We just talked about it being a new religion. What is it you think is happening at the individual level to have wokeness take such a prominent role in everyone's worldview?
Yeah, wokeness has definitely become a new religion in America.
The good news is that our organization represents 28 states across the country.
Governance system of which ESG is just, part of the equation. Does this make sense to you?
We know ESG is a scam. It does not work. Recently, you had BlackRock actually close one of their ESG ETFs because there was a lack of interest in it. The people are speaking on this.